Barstool storyboards.
That sounds
It was
dope.
probably like 5 or 6.
I want to see a Chappelle one for sure.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, it's just all my kind of take on these guys, and it's something like every time I do it. Oh, I did one on Dennis Rodman most recently because I think Dennis Rodman is just the most fascinating. We all know he's crazy, but he's really fucking crazy.
Why?
I just feel like he was like so ahead of his time with, you know, people were like, oh, he had dyed hair and piercings and a celebrity girlfriend. That's like every fucking guy in the league right now. You know what I mean? Like, think about like you got a crazy beard and a crazy girlfriend.
Tattoos
like,
everywhere.
So
yeah.
what?
Yeah,
You
he
know
was
what I
just
mean?
born 20 years too early.
Exactly. And then, I mean, I still think people don't, like, he was basically like some sort of ambassador to North Korea. What?
Yeah.
You know, like how
Yeah.
he went from like the 72-10 Bulls to fucking sitting next to Kim Jong-un is just like, everyone's like, wow, that's crazy. And it's like, no, wait, we got to talk about this. This is fucking crazy. How the fuck did
That's
this
insane.
happen? And the fact, did you know he had a 13-inch growth spurt when he was like 21?
No shit.
Yeah, he was like not
What?
of size to play in the NBA. He was cleaning toilets in a airport in wherever he like grew up.
Dallas.
And
He's from
in
Dallas.
and in like
Oak Cliff, I think.
he went from like I think from 21 to 22 or 20 to 21, he grew 13 inches.
What? And then he
it was
starts
like
playing for a JUCO, right?
Yeah,
Or
and
something
then
like
that was all because he got like befriended by this kid whose brother had killed himself by accident,
Right.
and they became best friends because they were loners. That
the
family
family
took
took him
care
in,
of him,
yeah.
and it was all because there was like a crazy accident with a shotgun that this one kid needed a friend, and Dennis was his friend. Like the things that needed to fall in place for this dude who was like 5'9" at the age of 21 to then become a NBA Hall of Famer, 5-time champion. It's crazy.
Best defender ever?
Arguable.
Arguably, yeah.
Definitely.
Best rebounder. Best like pure rebounder. You know what I mean? For
Definitely one of
his
the best
size.
What is your
Yeah, like,
take?
pound for
What
pound.
do you? I mean, you don't have to give it away. Wait, it's already out.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what is your take after kind of digesting all of it?
Well, you know what's funny is then after we put it out, Rodman came through like a couple months later, and he did the podcast, and he is like he lived up to all the hype.
Yeah,
and then some.
yeah,
He
I've
is
heard
like
that.
the real deal, crazy. But I mean, even just like the salacious shit, like he was fucking his fans' wives. Like fans would come up to him like, "Would you please fuck my wife?" And like he was like, "Yeah, I would go upstairs." That's the last person in the world you want to fuck your wife.
Real
Dennis
life
Rodman.
cucks.
Yeah, they wanted it though, and then like you know.
They used to do that to Lil B. The bass guy.
Yeah?
Like, bass guy fuck my bitch. Like, they would, like, fucking, in concerts,
crazy.
they would, like, put their girlfriends, like, in their hands and, like, put them on stage. Like, bass guy, please fuck my bitch, bass guy. Like,
Who are these people?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
white people.
And then you know he gets yeah.
Well, am I right? Like,
Yeah, that's some white people shit, no doubt.
Yeah.
Not me, but yep, I get it. I mean, then he gets mixed up with Trump and
Yeah.
reality TV, and then that all comes to be with the president. Like, it's just the story to me is absolutely wild.
And you
So that
think
was
he's
the
like
most recent one.
clinically insane? What type of crazy are we talking about here? Is he aware of his actions? Is he aware of the
I think
results?
so. I think he's pretty self-aware. I think he's got some like substance abuse issues, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
like craziness because he seems pretty
Cocaine?
like. I don't know what. I just feel like he partied pretty hard and
Yeah.
like got some miles on wear and tear on the brain or whatever. I mean, when he was doing Answer the Internet, he basically told us that his aunt blew him once.
What?
Yeah. Like, we were asking the question. I think
she
it was
hot?
the grandma question. And I remember being like, oh, boy, this is probably going to go, like, super viral in, like, a bad way. Like,
Right.
we're almost, like, making fun of him or whatever. And, like, nobody quite picked it up. But he was just like, yeah, one time my aunt was just like, and he kind of mumbles. And she was like, you're just sucking on that dick. And I was like, okay. So he is an interesting cat for better or worse in a weird way that I feel like people don't even. You know, I think when you're, like A-Rod, when he was so clean cut, and then when he has like one transgression, it's like, holy shit. Even though it's not maybe, you know, steroids, whatever. When you are constantly crazy and constantly fucking
You
up,
get
it
numb to it.
becomes white noise, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, yeah, Rodman's overseas in North Korea with a fucking Avengers team that he put together to be an ambassador of basketball to a fucking tyrannical world criminal. Oh, yeah, whatever. That's just the worm being the worm. It's like, no. We got to talk about this, man. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I went front to back on him. So that was
Is
the most
he
recent one.
aware of how absurd his life has been?
I kind of asked him that. Like, I was saying, what do you think about, like, the Twitter era and the social media era? Would that be, like, would that have really been a problem for you? And he was just like, oh, no, I would have killed it. Like, I would have... Like he
would've
meant,
leaned
he
in.
meant more like like more fans. I would have fucked more fans'
yeah.
wives. But I think he also on some level like would have understood like I'm gonna grow my brand and I'm
From
gonna
a
be
distance.
a celebrity and like shit like that.
There's like a
you know?
handful of people that I think like, you know, they're always talking about, oh man, these guys don't have to grow up in the social media area. Yada,
Right.
yada, yada. Like Dennis Rodman, like Shaq, like fucking KG, like a lot of these.
They'd have
like,
killed it.
They would have.
From a distance, it feels like
multi-million.
like he's aware of his crazy, but he has such a self-destructive streak that he can't stop it.
Yes, agreed.
So it's just like I know this is crazy, but I'm gonna do it, and whatever. It's whatever. What can you do?
So
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I mean,
so
I said if you didn't have that growth spurt, like where you'd be, he was like dead for sure, like no doubt in the gutter, dead.
Did he speak at all about his coaches or teammates' effect on him and how they?
Chuck Daly was like his father, from what I understand. And then when Chuck Daly got fired, apparently that's when
there's a story he was like gonna kill himself, and Craig Sager like stopped him, and like I think the story I've read on different the details kind of like shift, but it basically centers around Craig Sager and him at a Detroit strip club. Being like, and he was like, "Don't kill yourself," and like that was like his story he told when Craig Sager passed away. So I think Craig Sager, like, I think basketball for sure saved his life. Whether or not it was individual coaches, I think his time in San Antonio like did not work out at all. David Robinson sat him down, and was like, "You need to find God," and he was like, "Suck right
Yeah.
get out of here." But I think he's a dude who was like born ahead of his time, had some destructive issues, but on the
I think he was also, another thing. He always seemed like he was on the search for like a father figure, which you see with a lot of guys who don't have great father figures.
Even the family that took him in, he kind of he doesn't talk about them anymore. Like there's some sort of falling out with that.
He's like dying for a father figure, it seems like.
Well,
and
he,
I think
he seemed to get a couple of them.
Yeah,
and
but then
be quite successful with them.
Yeah, and then when Chuck got fired, I you know how I learned all this? I watched some shitty ass bootleg ass documentary, or not documentary, biopic on her, biopic. Whatever you
I think
say.
I know what you're talking about.
And it was just like poorly acted. He narrated it or whatever, but like
I turned that on for like research, thinking it was like a documentary, and I realized it was like a fictional
the way
actors. I was like, oh shit.
The way he tells it, when Chuck got fired, that's when he was like, that's when he became the worm and dyed his hair and piercings and like
didn't have someone to keep him on the straight and
he
narrow.
loved hard work, and I remember him saying that about the White family too, or whoever coached him. He's like, I realized I like hard work. He was a guy who needed discipline and structure from a father figure to say, hey, work your ass off, be this guy.
Yeah.
And David Robinson wasn't that, and that probably didn't help. But like,
not at all.
he needed
Too
somebody.
judgy, you know?
Yeah, probably.
Well, he was in the Navy. He was like a fucking, he's
very clean cut.
Yes sir, no sir, ma'am, yes ma'am type of dude.
Right,
So,
yeah.
I can see that.
So he thrived with the coaches that allowed him to kind of be himself. What I'm fascinated by, and I wonder if you had to talk to him at all about this, but like the time with Jordan, how did they mesh?
They didn't talk.
They didn't talk, but
they
did
did-
Jordan recognize his greatness?
I think so.
I think that's why he
I
didn't
feel
talk.
like Jordan wouldn't fuck with like.
Jordan seems
I
like
don't
he
think
was
he's gonna have a guy on his team who he's not. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if he knows he is somewhat of a distraction. I don't think Jordan would have dealt with anything that wasn't worth the squeeze. You know.
And
When
he'll
you
be a
say
piece
that-
of shit to like your teammate. If you're fucking up, Jordan's the number one guy to jump down your throat. For him to leave Dennis alone completely means I know this guy's great. He's just fucking nuts. I don't want to deal with it. You go do you. I know you're good.
Get
Do you
your
think
rebounds.
I think
do you
with
think that
most
Jordan
people-
recognizes on some level, because Jordan has his issues, right? Jordan, like to gamble, like to get out there in the world and do a couple things that could be considered taboo. Do you think on some level Jordan was like, okay, this guy's great, and
He's just out there about his
cost
shit.
the cost of greatness sometimes is being out there. I'm out there with this gambling and this other stuff that I'm fucking around with. Maybe he's out there with dyeing his fucking hair, but as long as he's getting me 15 rebounds a night.
Right.
I mean, at the same time, I think a lot of people are shocked when you hear that because, like, you'd be surprised how many times people just don't fucking hang out. Like, a lot of championship teams, like, they just
not buddies,
don't. They're not. Yeah,
It's a
they're,
job.
They're professionals. Like,
Yeah.
they come,
Right.
they go to work, and then they fucking do what they fucking do.
And I think that they like once the Bulls guys like once that broke up, I think he played for the Lakers and the Mavs after that, and he was like a total disaster. Like
Yeah,
just getting
Mavs
suspended, technicals. Like it was like a joke. You know, it was like he didn't have. I don't think there was anybody on those teams that he respected enough to like fall in line. You know what I mean? So I think he needs someone that he was like.
So
I
he
respect
really
that you're
respected
great,
Jordan.
and they respect that you're crazy, but you do your thing. And, it's
And
like
at the same time, his skill is a very complementary skill. So it's not like he
you don't
can't
take
just
away
fucking-
from anybody.
Yeah, you
Dude,
don't
he's
take
the
away from
best teammate on earth. If he's not crazy, he just plays the best defense and gets all the
does
rebounds.
everything that you don't
crowd
want.
Wants
was
no
juiced
shots
up
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
He's going to give all effort. He's going to set the standard for effort for your team. He's
Fuck with
diving
the other
for every
team's
loose
best
ball.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh, so and maybe I'd love to talk to Jordan about that. Hopefully that will be in that cool Jordan doc that comes
I'm
out.
dying to see that.
But I would love to just have like a
Hope they
like
do
a
that right.
15-minute
You
convo.
can tell by the fucking glass of fucking
Yeah.
yak in his cup. They're gonna do it.
But I would love to see just a 15-minute convo from Jordan just about his relationship with Rodman and like how he learned to manage his greatness. and like what he learned was the best approach. And maybe
I think he said that that Scotty wanted an apology from when they were like Pistons Bulls like rivalry, and then Phil Jackson said something like, "You have to go apologize to Scotty," and he was like, "Go fuck yourself, no shot." But just to kind of like Scottie Pippen, a guy who wants the apology versus like Jordan, just kind of
I want a ring,
whatever. Yeah,
that's the apology.
Yeah, he's on my team now, like name on the front sort of thing. So I am on the court, off the court, most interesting cat like in the world, I think.
Yeah.